Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Arun. I'm Solutions Architect, MCT, currently working with Novin Tech, which is one of the best organization to work with. And today we are going to describe Azure DevOps Protection. People who are already following this channel, they know we have already done a couple of videos on Azure DDoS protection in deep dive as well. But since we are covering this SC 900, so for the sake of this playlist, we are only going to touch it from the perspective of describe Azure DDoS protection. Will not go so deep, but yeah, if we start touching it, we'll understand the concept, what it is, how it works, why it's an absolute must-have for anyone running services in Azure, all those things, but from a high level perspective for which is needed for our playlist. So Azure DDoS protection. So as the name says, it is going to protect us from DDoS attack. Okay. That's why it is DDoS protection. Now, if you are wondering what is a DDoS attack, let me try to explain you with the help of a simple analogy. Let's suppose this is your shop. Let's call it a coffee shop. All right. Then there is a gate to enter inside the coffee shop. All right. Let's suppose there is, only few people can get in through this gate, and even internal capacity maybe 10 to 12 people. But what if more people, not customers, or you can say the fake customers, starts getting into this gate? Let's suppose the capacity is 8 inside, and maybe 2 or 3 people can get inside through this door, and they're like 1,000 people or fake customer tries to get in. What will happen? Well, in that scenario, the real customer will not be able to get in, right? This guy would not be able to get in. That's what the DDoS attack actually is. How? Because if these many folks or fake users or fake customers can flood the gate in a similar fashion, the hackers or the attackers floods your service with fake traffic, so real users can't connect. And Azure DDoS protection can help us here. Why? Because let's continue the same analogy. If this is what is happening, there are like thousands of fake customers try to get in through this gate because we are serving coffee here, right? We can only serve when the guys can, or girls can get in through this gate. But all our thousands of fake customers are, just blocking this down. So what we need? We need somebody who can take care of this mess. And who is that somebody? That somebody is your security guard. Okay. This is your security. This is your security guard. Now, this security guard will only let the real customers get in and let the fake customers block. Same thing happens, or same thing done by the Azure DDoS protection. So your Azure DDoS protection is the security guard who will only let the real customer get in or the real traffic get in and block the fake traffic. So it's a cloud-based shield and it works on the network edge. Let's suppose this is the network edge to get inside the Azure environment or Azure infrastructure. So it works on the network edge. This is the network edge from where the traffic gets in. Now, if it is a fake traffic, Azure DDoS will block it. And if it is a real traffic, it will let it in. All right. But this is also not a static shield. Okay, like this is fake, this is real, but it also learns the pattern of the traffic. Okay, and also adjust in real time, and it is a real time thing. It it keeps monitoring 24/7. All right, gives you real time reports, alerts, and also if you have a premium kind of or advanced service, you'll also get the MS rapid response team as well from Microsoft. We'll see all those things. The point is Azure DDoS protection is always on, and it's not static. It learns your traffic. It learns from your normal traffic and can easily identify if there is something which seems not getting or fit into the pattern, and it will monitor, scan, and understand if it is a fake. It will block it. It's a smart defense. All right. So as of now, we have understood what is Azure DDoS protection. It is to protect us from the DDoS attack. What is DDoS attack? When there is a lot of fake traffic going in and real traffic cannot get in or reach the service, right? Just for the understanding. That is what the DDoS attack is. And in order to protect it, we need to have a security guard in place. And in our scenario, it is Azure DDoS, which is sitting on network edge. And it is not static. It will keep learning your pattern. It is 24/7, always on. It will send you real-time reports, alerts, and along with that, uh, if you need, it also has MS rapid response team, but it's a kind of premium service. They're giving their people to help you, so you need to pay for that, right? So it will come along with the expensive type of DDoS if you buy. All right. So let's understand what are the different types of DDoS services. We have two type of DDoS services. One is network protection DDoS, and another one is IP protection. Okay. So we have two types of DDoS protection here. And why two type? Well, there is they both provide almost same kind of service except few things. If you enable network protection, it is the expensive one and it can protect all your network. Like the cap is I guess 10 virtual network and a lot of public IPs. And this is only for a single public IP. So if you have a small infrastructure with one or two public IP address, you can choose this because it is also very expensive, right? Both has same kind of services except few things like it will this guy, the network protection will also come with the rapid response team. All right, and it will also provide you cost protection, which means if there is an attack and your infrastructure is scaled to fight with the attack, so that cost will be protected by Azure. You need not to pay for that. With IP protection, these two things are not there, and rest of the features are available. Okay, so we understood what is Azure DDoS protection, and now we know there are two types: network protection and IP protection, and these two both fall under advanced DDoS. Why I'm saying that? Because basic DDoS is always on. Okay, but if you need more protection, more service, you need to go with the advanced DDoS so they can take care of your environment specifically with certain more features. Right now, let's go ahead on the portal and see how it actually works. Well, I'm going to give you two options. First of here, we need to create the DDoS plan. Okay. And then second, we need to enable the DDoS protection on resources. These two steps will help us how to work with the Azure DDoS protection. Let me show you. If I go to Azure portal, I search here DDoS protection plan. Here it is. If I click on DDoS protection plan, it will take me to the network security. Under network security, we have DDoS protection. I can click on creation of the plan. Plan is nothing. It is just letting the subscription know that this particular subscription is going to have the advanced features of DDoS. So we should have a plan first, only then we can go ahead and enable DDoS protection on our resources. Let me call it testing in progress, review and create. All right. It will take few moments for validation and then we will deploy the DDoS protection. Now, while it is deploying, let me tell you something. There are different kind of attacks we were talking about. So the most famous attacks on layer 3 and layer 4 are volumetric attacks and protocol attacks. Volumetric attacks are huge floods of data like opening a fire hydrant into your network or the coffee shop example. Protocol attack is exactly we can learn this from the coffee shop example. It is like abusing a technical rules or communication like SYN floods, the three-way handshake, if you remember, right? So this is in still progress. Now let me try to take you through where is our diagram right here. Okay, it's done. Now go to the resource. Now we are in the resource right here. I can add protected resource from here. If I need to add VNet, I click on add, it will select the resource group and I can select my virtual network. If I enable it, it's not only public IP, it is the advanced network protection, which is the expensive one. Okay, but if I need to add a public IP, let me try to show you from the virtual machine. Let's click on the virtual machine. I'm here on the virtual machine. Let's click here to the virtual network. Here it is, virtual network. Under virtual network, we have this DDoS protection. We can enable it from here as well. And if I go to the public IP, OSTUS public IP, protect IP address right here. So it was not under configuration. Earlier it was under configuration. It is under overview. If I click on protect IP address, it will give me the option to protect it, IP address. Okay. If I add existing DDoS plan, okay, I can select from here. Now, if I have enabled the network DDoS, then no need to go for this separately. That particular thing will take care of everything. If I click here, like if I select this, this will take care of the entire thing. All right, all the public IP addresses as well. So that's the Azure stuff. Now let's go back to the diagram. Now I said it handles two kinds of attacks. Let me call it volumetric attack and protocol attack. Okay. Now volumetric, as the name says, volume of fake traffic, which is exactly the same example. You can say it is a volumetric attack. Protocol attack is, let's suppose you are going to abuse the protocol. For example, you get in. Here we have our people who are serving you coffee, but you, instead of ordering it, you start asking question, just say I want to, and just running here and there and not giving you order. Just occupying the people or assistant who is there to serve the coffee is kind of protocol attack. Volumetric attack is layer 3. Here attackers sense, like this is important, layer 3, and here attackers sense huge amount of UDP packets to your PIP, public IP. They may spoof the source IP so you can't trace it easily. The goal is to saturate your bandwidth so nothing else fits. Nobody can get in. The bandwidth is choked, right? And how Azure DDoS stops it? Because before it reaches your public IP, traffic first reaches the network edge, as we have explained, before you're reaching a virtual network. And Azure detects abnormal volume spikes much higher than your baseline because it is also checking the pattern, much higher than your baseline. So bad packets are dropped at the edge router where it is before even reaching your virtual network. Got it? So it will never reach your resources and you are saved. Right. And if we talk about protocol attack, this is layer 4. Okay. It's a layer 4 attack. It's a fake handshake. So it is like when you normally connect to a website, it's a three-step handshake. So it is more like the attacker starts the handshake but never finishes it. So your server waits for the response that never comes, keeping the door open and running out of the uh, spot for the real users. It consumes the resources. It is layer 4. Attacker sends huge SYN packets here. SYN packets. TCP handshake starts to your public IP. The server allocates memory for each request and waits for the final acknowledgement, but it never arrives. Eventually, the server gets overloaded, just tracking these fake requests, which means our folks, which were serving the coffee, is or talking to these guys who are like trying to get them busy but not serving the coffee to the real users. So how DDoS stops it? Because it's a usually higher number of incomplete handshakes. So DDoS engine spots that. And the edge devices use SYN cookies and connection filtering to reject fake handshakes here. And legitimate TCP sessions complete and pass through. Fake ones are dropped instantaneously. All right. Now there is one more attack, which is attack on application layer, which also fall under DDoS, but Azure DDoS cannot help there, and it is suggested to use WAF along with Azure DDoS to have a complete protection from the DDoS attacks. So it is exactly like we said, fake customers, 1,000 fake customers who keep ordering coffee, changing their order and asking questions, keeping our stuff busy. So real customers have to wait. In a same scenario, it can fit. Attackers send massive HTTP request, get or post request to your public facing endpoint. Each request is valid, but the volume is so high it consumes CPU, memory, and database connections. So it consumes your resources, and Azure DDoS alone doesn't inspect request content. It stops volumetric parts of the attack, right? DDoS stops the volumetric, the first. The volumetric piece will be taken care by the DDoS, okay? But to fully block this, you pair your DDoS protection with Azure Web Application Firewall because WAF inspects each HTTP request and blocks suspicious patterns like repeated requests from the same IP or known bad bots. All right. So I hope it is more than what is expected from the described Azure DDoS protection. So in the summary, it is a protection from the DDoS attack. And DDoS attack, we explained with the help of coffee shop, fake customer, real customer cannot get in. We need a guard, a security guard, which is our Azure DDoS, which is 24/7, always on, learns the patterns, not a static account. And it has two type, network protection, IP protection. Network is expensive, IP is not that expensive. It is used by the small infrastructure environment where you have one or two public IP. This is for the big ones because it takes care of the entire network. In order to apply this, we need to create a plan. And once we create the plan, we can go to the resource and enable our DDoS. It helps us protecting from the volumetric attack, which is layer 3, where we send the UDP packets, not we, but the attackers, and the protocol attack, which is layer 4, where the attacker send the SYN packets. And the one more attack is third one, which is your kind of application layer attack, which also involved layer 3. So layer 3 will be blocked by DDoS, but we need WAF in order to have a complete protection from the DDoS attacks in Azure. Well, we summarized the entire video. I hope it was informative. If you like to deep dive, you can check the old video in the same channel, which is huge deep dive. You'll find multiple videos on DDoS, but we have to create this one for this playlist. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope it was informative. You guys have